Hello, and welcome to the 10th Annual Bettie Awards. We appreciate you all coming out, especially on a little bit of a rainy day today, to celebrate with us. The Bettie Awards exhibition is among the highlights of the Frederick County Public Schools Youth Art Month exhibitions in our galleries today that every school in Frederick County has participated in, and we're very excited to present that each year. The Bettie Awards is something that's a little special. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. First, I'd like to clean up a few things, a few housekeeping things. We're going to be taking photos today of the winners. So when you come up to get your award, please turn and smile at the camera. And if you need something to smile about, remember that behind the certificate is a check. So. The grand prize winner who's going to be announced today, we're going to get their photo down in the gallery, so they need to kind of hang around with us for a little bit afterwards. But I encourage everyone, if they haven't already, to please go down and visit the galleries, the Bettie Awards, and also the Frederick County Public Schools exhibit. A little about the Bettie Awards. Sometimes we get the question, why is the Arts Center called the Delaplaine Arts Center? And the reason is really simple. George and Bettie Delaplaine donated the property for the Arts Center to the city of Frederick for use as an art center. The Delaplaine family and the Delaplaine Foundation have been great supporters of the Arts Center for all these years. For Bettie Delaplaine, it was personal. She was involved as a board member and a volunteer. She also knew that art was for everyone and believed in the creativity and self-expression and that they should start in our young people. She was very enthusiastic about young art, and she was also very encouraging. She was well known for coming in every month and usually buying pieces of art, not based on how great that people thought they were, not even that they were to her taste, but that they would encourage an artist to continue. And she especially foster this with the young artists that we displayed in our galleries. When Bettie Delaplaine passed away a little over 10 years ago, we knew we had to do something special to honor her legacy. Her support and nurturing of young artists has always been an important part of what we do here at the Delaplaine, but we really wanted to do something really special, really showy, that really highlighted the finest that our young people in the county had to offer. And that was the Bettie Awards. In keeping with our mission to not only provide experiences and opportunities in the visual arts, but also to educate, this program has three primary goals: to help young artists gain an understanding in submitting their own artwork for review and exhibition, to provide an experience of having their artwork judged and understand the importance of presentation, and to provide an accomplishment that can be added to college, art school, or professional applications. If you picked up a book in the back, and if not, you can pick up one later in the gallery, because this is our 10th year, we're honoring that by displaying images of all our award winners, and I encourage you to pick that up. We've had some of the finest young artists in Frederick County participate in this award. This year is no exception. Those of you who are winning Bettie Awards today have been selected into a very small circle of young Frederick County artists, Bettie Award winners. There is one more award that is not going to be presented today, and that's the People's Choice Award. That's presented at the end of the exhibition, which is in April, and that award is won by gaining the most votes from our visitors. Each visitor is permitted one vote per person per visit, so we encourage you to tell everyone you know. Tell your family, friends. If you have a relative that lives next door or something, you're really in great shape. And to come out and see the exhibitions, see your artwork. One person is going to win the grand prize today. And that person, unlike the other winners today, is not, when they get their award, they're not going to get a check. They're going to get an envelope with a W-9. As soon as I get the W-9 after this awards presentation, I will happily hand you your check. But we do need that, so that'll happen afterwards. I do want to point out a couple people in the room today on our staff that have really put this program together. We have Corey Fry, who's our exhibitions manager. We have Kristen Butler, who is our programs manager, or excuse me, director of programs. And we do have a board member here today, Kim Klabe. So. And we also are very honored to have our mayor today, Mike O'Connor. With no further ado, I'm going to introduce Tammy O'Connor, who is not only a board member of the Delaplaine, but also the president of the Frederick County Art Association, who helps to sponsor this award. So, Tammy?
Good afternoon, all you talented artists. I'm sorry, I'll stand back here. I just wanted to say briefly that the FCAA is turning 45 this year, and of course we've been doing the Delaplaine Award, the Bettie Awards, since 2000, oh my gosh, I just forgot what it was. 10 years, anyway, 10 years. So we're very grateful to be a part of this, and we look forward to visiting with all the winners once you're announced. Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Hey, I'm Corey Fry. I'm the exhibitions manager here. Well, a couple of things. We had 3 judges. Hey, let me explain a little bit about how the Bettie Awards works, first of all. We had 90 submissions from artists this year from across Frederick County, and those 90 artists are whittled down to about 12 by a panel of artists and art educators that review all the work and select 12 out of those for the exhibition. From there, we have a second round of judging, which was comprised of 3 judges who are all artists. Some are art educators as well. And they came out yesterday at about 2 o'clock to see the work in person. And it's incredible seeing their response and hearing the amount of encouraging words that they were speaking about some of the artwork that was in the exhibition right now. One thing that we try to do is, as the judges go through, we have them write down some notes about things that they're seeing that are really working in the artwork. And we've compiled some of those. So each person, when you come up to get your certificate, there's an envelope with a check, but there's also a piece of paper that has a list of some of the judges' comments. Unfortunately, we had one of the judges that was supposed to be here today to talk to you directly, but she got tied up in some other things and wasn't able to come. But they were all so enthusiastic about the work in the exhibition, like really excited. And some of these are, one of them was Wendell Poindexter, who is the art director over at FCC. Sarah Hempel-Arani is a local sculptor and an artist in the area. She has the Claire McCardo sculpture down on Carroll Creek, if you're familiar with that. And then Vicki Clarkson, who's a member of FCAA and is an exhibiting artist. She has an exhibition coming up at FCC here pretty soon as well. And they couldn't have had, they just had so many good things to say about your work. So, you always say like, well, everybody's a winner. But as uncomforting as that is sometimes, we hope that it's really encouraging for you to receive some of the comments that they've made because y'all are doing great stuff. If you are one of the Bettie Award exhibiting artists, would you just raise your hand really quick? I want to see how many of you are here. Thank you all for being here. And then if you're an artist who has work in the Frederick County Public School Youth Exhibition, would you raise your hand as well? So I know some of the Bettie Awards have work in there as well, but yeah, thank you so much to our jurors and teachers. And if you're a teacher in Frederick County Public Schools, would you raise your hand? Thank you so much. Here's the other thing that I want to mention really quick. On the second floor in our gallery space is an exhibition of FCPS faculty. Some really great artwork. Some of you students probably didn't even know that your teachers make art, and they do, and you got to go up and check it out. There's some really good work up there. But thank you to you teachers who are teaching these students, and also thank you to you parents who are fostering the necessity of art in your children as well. Okay, it's enough of all that. Let's get to some awards. What do you say? If you would, like Dwayne said, if you would come up. Yeah. If you'd come up, and after I announce your name, I'm going to read, each artist submitted a statement about their work, and I'm going to read through that as well. So bear with me as I have a lot of words to say. I might take some drinks of water in between. All right, I'm going to show you a picture of their work as well. First up is Theresa Engel and her work Ember, Bloom, which is a piece in clay, and Theresa is a student at Linganore High School. Theresa, you can come up and I'll read the statement of your work. I created this piece as one of my final projects in Ceramics 3. My teacher told me that he wanted me to push my skills. Every part of Ember Bloom was spun on the wheel, the base, handle, lid, and spout. One of the bigger challenges for me when creating this piece was making sure the lid was on correct, proportions of the body, and also that I kept fluidity throughout the whole piece. I used a spray gun to apply the glaze and chose the name Ember Bloom, or Ember Gloom, because I felt that the colors of the glaze were similar to what it would look like if I were to open the kiln mid-firing. Can we give Theresa a hand? Next up is Alex Johnson. Alex, are you here? So this piece is called Beneath the Surface of Inspiration. It's a digital painting, and Alex is a student at Tuscarora High. The concept behind this piece involves self-reflection. It's about the understanding of personal motivation behind the creation of an artwork. It also presents a raw image of the process behind my own art down to the sketch layer. The painting took me around 4 hours to complete, as it was a more complex piece to sketch and finalize. Give Alex a hand. Next up is Kayla Morgan. Kayla, are you here? Kayla's piece was called Life, and it's watercolor and acrylic, and Kayla is a student at Middletown High. Kayla's statement is, discernment between good and evil is often difficult. Darkness is often disguised as light, and light isn't always as bright as it appears. This piece is a depiction of this duality. Next up is Madeline Blatchley. So Madeline's piece is it Madeline or Madeline? Madeline, sorry, Madeline. Madeline's piece is called The Baker. It's watercolor on paper, and Madeline's a student at Frederick High School. I began this piece with a light pencil sketch. I wanted to express the loose movements that are demonstrated when baking and the warmth, love, and care that goes into making delicious food. So I decided to go further in detail with black watercolor, diluting the paint with water to achieve light gray tones, embracing every stroke of the brush like a baker in her mixing bowl. Next up is Logan Hirai. I hope I'm saying that last name right. Logan, are you here? All right. Logan's piece is Jungle Tigress. It's a digital painting, and Logan is a student at Urbana High. For this piece, I was particularly interested in tigers at the time. I took a fascination with what a tiger would look like if drawn as a human being in my style. After fiddling with multiple different designs, I landed on this one, semi-inspired by Disney princesses. This piece was created on digital media, which is my main media used for most of my artistic projects. Thank you, Logan. Next up is Aidan McCrohan. Is that right? What is it? McCrohan. Aidan, thanks. Aidan's piece is our one photography piece in the show. It's called Man in the Mist, and Aidan is a student at Middletown High. Taken just outside of Boston, the Man in the Mist depicts a shadowy figure standing under a yellow light, surrounded by a deep mist in the dead of night. Considering the different guidelines for this award, I knew that there had to be a story behind the photograph, and that's exactly what is encapsulated by Man in the Mist. The story that is developed is one of mystery, and the observer is swiftly immersed in the atmosphere of the abandoned basketball court in the sparsely wooded forest. That being said, the photograph was taken with an iPhone in portrait mode with the exposure lowered and an increased f-stop to better achieve the necessary atmosphere. Next up is Amelia. Is it Melon or Melon? Amelia, hi. So Amelia's piece is titled Breeze. It's a piece in digital media, and Amelia is a student at Governor Thomas Johnson High School. One of the values that I hold closest to my heart is enjoying the small but pleasurable moments of life. Through this piece, I aimed at capturing a carefree joy that is expressed when you roll down the window and take a moment to feel the warm sun tickling breeze on your skin. I used grainy pastel and pencil-like brushes in my digital program to parallel the light and airy atmosphere, and additionally to combat potential lack of texture due to the nature of the medium. Next up is Jill Rector. Jill's piece is titled Alina. Is that right? Alina? Elena? Yeah? And it's acrylic paint on canvas, and Jill is a student at Governor Thomas Johnson High School. Working in acrylic paint, I wanted to capture the juxtaposition of a woman's natural face featuring acne against protruding crystals. The idea is to convey that not only are there crystals in her, but that she is becoming a crystal herself. The crackling, almost infected skin represents the vulnerability of her appearance as she succumbs to her natural beauty. The jewelry and tiara work to capture the direct head-on lighting to highlight and draw the viewer's eyes around the portrait. Providing artworks showcasing natural skin is important for women of all ages and backgrounds, especially emphasizing the beauty in the woman. Next up is Antje Romano. What is it? Antje. Is that right? Okay. Antje's piece is titled Submerged, and it's acrylic paint on canvas, and Antje is a student at Frederick High School. Submerged is a piece designed to showcase the feelings of pressure and drowning in one's life. It shows the persistence of those feelings and how they translate to comforting environments. It shows an attempt to release those feelings, but still being submerged by exterior forces. Give Antje a hand. Next up is Jordan Sofan. Sofan? Sofan? Jordan's piece is titled Fear. It's Prismacolor, oil, marker, and graphite on paper and Jordan is a student at Urbana High School. My piece, Fear, focuses on the modern struggles that are faced by teens. The subject of the artwork is my friend, Ava, and she's portrayed in a state of shock with hands surrounding her trying to grab her and hold her. Ava has shared her own personal fears that she faces, such as failure, loss, insecurities, and imperfections, which are highly faced by people in our time. The hands are only figures of our imaginations, and they represent how fear constantly tries to grab hold of us and change who we are, leaving us trapped in the darkness. So next up is the judges sometimes have a difficult time deciding on the grand prize winner because the work was so good. They really gathered together after they went around personally and looked at all the work. They gathered together to try to find a consensus on the winner, but they were really struck by a couple of pieces, and so they decided this year to give a Judges Award of Merit, and they're giving that to Ileana Melan. So Ileana's piece is titled Looking Through Lemons. It's acrylic paint on Bristol board, and Ileana's a student at Governor Thomas Johnson High School. This piece was inspired by the translucency of lemons and how the light can make them appear to glow through the phenomenon of subsurface scattering. I especially wanted to capture the contrast between the illuminated pulp and the opaqueness of the rind. Regardless of materials, I painted with a mix of acrylic paint. Regarding the materials, I painted with a mix of acrylic paint and gouache on Bristol paper. So last but not least, we have our grand prize winner, everybody. Would you give it up for Jane or Ileana? Jane's piece is untitled, but it's pen and ink. The judges were just astounded by this. They were really taken back by how you could get up close and look at detail, but then stand, 6-10 feet away and still just be struck by the image. Jane says, my art style explores human textures through high contrast values in photorealist styles. I enjoy having complex and mysterious faces as the focus to make it more questionable and interesting to the viewer. The large scale invites the viewer to more closely examine a typical or unconventional beauty. Congratulations, Jane. Awesome. Y'all are great. Thank you so much for being here. Take some time to wander around in the exhibitions and check out all the amazing artwork. Again, wander up to the second floor. There's great work by the faculty up there. Also grab a magazine on your way out and check out upcoming classes, programming, talks, all kinds of stuff. But thank you so much for being here, and thank you, artists. Congrats.